The rains came early that year. Heavy and unpredictable. They washed the streets clean, but they couldn't wash the thoughts that haunted Nene's mind. She had seen enough to know something wasn't right. But knowing and proving were two different things. Every day, Dr. Obesai wore the same calm expression, the same slow smile, the same gentle hands. He moved like a man with nothing to hide. But Nene knew he was hiding everything. Her notebook was filling up. Dates. Missing patients. Odd symptoms. Strange nighttime movements. But a book full of suspicions wasn't enough. She needed to see more. So she waited. And one Sunday night, when the town was quiet and most were indoors, she followed him again. He drove past the village limits, into the outskirts. Past the farms. Into the wild trees. She kept her distance, her heart thumping so hard she could hear it in her ears. Finally, he stopped. It was the same place from before, the old colonial structure. But this time, he didn't go in immediately. He opened the trunk, brought out the blue cooler, and walked around the building to a narrow trail covered with overgrown grass. Nene followed on foot, careful not to make a sound. The trail twisted and turned. Then, it opened into a hidden clearing. And that's when she saw it. An old shrine. Cracked stone, covered in dried palm leaves. Symbols painted in red, symbols she didn't recognize. Around it were jars, bowls, and bones. She hid behind a tree, holding her breath. Dr. Obesai set the cooler on a flat stone and opened it. Inside were blood bags. He took them out one by one and poured the contents into a large carved basin at the shrine's base. Then he began to chant. Not loudly. Not like a madman. Quietly. Methodically. As if he had done it 100 times. Nene watched in horror as he knelt before the shrine and smeared some of the blood across his chest. He dipped a stick into the basin and marked the stone walls with fresh lines. The red glistened under the moonlight. He wasn't praying. He was feeding something. She didn't know how long she stayed there, frozen. When he finally finished, he packed the empty cooler and disappeared into the trees. That night, Nene sat in her room, numb. It wasn't just bad medicine. It wasn't just corruption. It was ritual. Dr. Obesai was taking the blood of patients and offering it to something buried deep in the forest. And no one knew. The next morning, Nene returned to work. She smiled at the patients. She nodded at the nurses. And when Dr. Obesai walked in with his usual warm greeting, she nodded like nothing had changed. But inside, she was unraveling. She wasn't sure how to expose him. Or who would even believe her. But she knew one thing for certain now. This was no longer a secret. This was a war. And the enemy was wearing a white coat. Like, comment, share this video and follow my page for more amazing videos. Stay tuned for the next part of the Blood Harvest series.